It's a real shame nobody buys 600cc Supersports anymore. They're just too expensive, too uncomfortable, and too track focused for most riders. I don't think anyone would be interested in a video about those bikes.
Well, I disagree. What about the sexiness? What about the way they look? What about the fact that some of them are more comfortable? And the noise. I remember when you got your first one and it drove out of the van. Oh my gosh, it floored me.
There is something sexy about an inline 4 screaming at 14,000 RPM. Maybe we should make a video about those bikes.
Maybe you should. What do you think, guys? Let's do it.
Let's do it, and let's get a proper breakfast, because this isn't going to fill me up. Okay, so we begin our tale about the 600cc Supersports. Back in 2000, us Brits purchased more than 13,000 brand new 600cc Supersport motorcycles. By the year 2003, this peaked to 22,900 units sold, or to put it another way, 14% of all new bikes sold were in the 400 to 600cc category. Of these 22,900, 10,400 were actually CBR600s, GSX-R600s, R6s, ZX-6Rs or Daytona 600s. There's a lot of sixes in that sentence, but you get the idea. Daytona 600 obviously quite close to my heart because I've got 2 of them. Really love that bike, so good to ride. However, this was a golden age for the plucky 600 and it hasn't really lasted as time has gone on. Even as early as 2010, the number of new 600s delivered to customers here in the UK was down to around 3,000, and last year we can only estimate it was probably closer to 300. So why is this big decline? Well, it's partly due to the introduction of the infamous Euro 4 and Euro 5 regulations. Most people associate Euro 5 with restrictions on noise and mainly emissions, but there's also mandatory requirements for ABS and onboard diagnostics. In addition, with the Euro 5, they've got to test the motorcycle over its expected lifetime, so it's not just getting out of the factory and onto the showroom, then it's tested across the lifetime of the vehicle. Manufacturers have typically shared engine designs across multiple models. Think of the BMW 1200 Boxer engine. So old engines are going to need significant redesign at substantive cost. 600s are particularly vulnerable to this because they've got high revving nature. Because of this, they've got significant valve overlap. The package is very lightweight and compact, so adding and modifying makes it difficult or very expensive. Very hard for manufacturers to get 600s to comply. Which is a shame because they're a great fun way to spend a weekend. Couple the regs that we've been imposing with the decline in demand for these bikes. Everybody's going for retros or very small capacity singles, or maybe they're going for tourers, comfortable bikes. We've seen manufacturers basically just pull the offerings from the market. The Euro 4, Suzuki sort of threw in the towel in the UK with the GSX-R 600, Honda with the CBR600RR. Interestingly, in other markets, they've just released a brand new 2021 CBR600RR. Looks amazing, but we're not going to get it here in the UK. Euro 4 also saw the demise of Triumph's famous triple, the Daytona 675. The only outlier really is the plucky ZX-6R, which is clinging on until this year, until 2021, when it will be discontinued. As an alternative route for developing sports bikes in that particular class of motorcycle, we've seen investment in halo models. So halo models, if you're not familiar with the term, in the car world it's the M5s, it's the Audi RS4s, RS6s, the real top of the line, highest performing models of the range that really draw people into the brand, and that's what we call halo model. The R1, the Fireblade, the Gixxer 1000, the ZX-10R, these are all real top of the line. I suppose the H2 could be one as well. These litre class bikes have expanded really from 150 brake horsepower up to 200 bhp, more computers than it would take to launch the space shuttle, effectively, with the IMUs and all the different gadgets they've got on board them, wheelie control. They're extremely expensive as well, so all of this gadgetry has bumped up the price, the performance has bumped up the price, so they're kind of unobtainable for most of us, and they're also outside our riding limits. Unless you're Rossi, you're not going to be able to really cane a R1 on the road and use that bike to its full potential. So if you want to go fast, you don't want to remortgage your house for the CBR600RR, then maybe a nearly new 600 So a couple of years old, 3-4 years old, presents itself as a very appealing option. So today we're going to spend a little bit of time, bit of a follow-up for our litre bike comparison. I'm going to dive into 600s, what options you should look at if you want to get involved with this class of bike. They are so good, these bikes, so much fun. Lightweight, flickable. Yes, it's an aggressive riding position, but you're totally involved in the ride. It's absolutely amazing. So we'll go through some of the bikes that you could choose today in this video. And the first 600 on the list today is the Yamaha R6 2017 model onwards. So the Yamaha R6 has 116 brake horsepower. It's got amazing brakes, incredible chassis design, making up for a little bit of a lackluster motor, which was actually detuned to comply with the latest regulations. So you can buy the R6 2017 to 2021 model, but from this year, 2021, you'll only be able to buy the new version of it, which is the R6 Race, and it's a track day only bike. So if you want to get one, then this year is your last shot to get an R6. Amazing looking bike, very, very stiff, track focused, but it looks absolutely fantastic and rides great. Number 2 on the list is the Kawasaki ZX-6R 2019 model onwards. So obviously very, very famous bike. It's the famous 636, so Kawasaki upped the capacity of the engine just to cheat a little bit and develop more power than the other 600s in the class. And it worked because the ZX-6R puts out 128 bhp compared to the 116 bhp of the Yamaha. The amazing thing about the 636, or the ZX-6R, however you want to call it, is it's also cheaper, available at £9,699, £2,500 cheaper than the R6. So if it was my choice, I'd absolutely love a ZX-6R, love Kawasaki sports bikes. Fantastic bike, 128 bhp, just under 200 kg and 636 cc's. Number 3 in the list today is the MV Augusta F3. This is 2012 all the way to 2021 model. This is a triple, the first of our 2 triples we're going to mention today. 675cc, putting out 126 bhp, but it only weighs 173 kg dry weight. So it's obviously Italian, it's got amazing looks, it's got the soundtrack of a triple. It's a little bit different than the typical sort of Japanese offering. So if you want something a little bit different, it's going to set you back £13,180, which is about 600 quid more than the R6, and also 3,500 over the Ninja. It's still available for 2021 if you want to pick one up. Okay, so this wouldn't be a complete list without talking about the GSX-R600. So this bike, in its current incarnation, was 2011 until it was discontinued in 2016. So it's a 599cc, so a true 600 class Supersport, putting out 126 bhp and weighing in at 187 kg. So the Suzuki obviously is the more economic option. It's a little bit better value, as Suzukis usually are. It was 9 kg lighter than the previous Gixxer, a little bit more mid-range, but unfortunately it had to go with Euro 4 as that came in 2016. So if you want to buy one now, obviously it's 5 years old, it's going to be as little as 4,500 quid. Still fast enough, still great fun, and you could spend the money that you saved on upgrading it with the latest tyres, brake pads, renew the lines and suspension components. So you're kind of going to be competing with the newer alternatives. That's the option from Suzuki. Okay, so here's one I'm excited to talk about. This is the penultimate bike in our list today, so one more to go after this. The Triumph Daytona 675 2013 to 2018 model. So obviously I've ridden and still ride the Triumph Daytona 600s, they're the 4-cylinder bikes. The triples just kind of blew up really in popularity. You know, you've got the torque and the screaming top end and the soundtrack. People just absolutely love the 675 and all incarnations really of triples. It's obviously a little bit higher displacement than the other 600 true 600 class bikes. 126 bhp, weighing in at 184 kg. Obviously you've got that fantastic 3-cylinder soundtrack, amazing chassis, quality suspension and a great riding experience. The final models really left the showrooms in 2018, so if you want to pick one up, you're going to have to find one for about 6k. for the last generation one. Obviously it's got good suspension. If you go for the R model, I think it comes with Öhlins. So really good value actually for the very most recent triple. Really nice bike, and I'll probably aspire to own one of those myself actually at some stage. Okay, so the final bike on the list today, last but no means least, is the CBR600RR. I've always loved the Fireblade, obviously the 1000RR. I'd also love a 600, CBR600, just absolutely love the look and just the feel of the Hondas. So this one we're going to talk about today is 2013-2017, a true 600 Supersport 599ccs. It's putting out 119 bhp, so a little bit less than some of the other bikes mentioned. But as with Honda generally, it's more of a rounded package rather than just excelling in any one attribute. So it weighs 196 kg, and it's still going to be an amazing bike on the track or on the road. Yeah, the bike was withdrawn from the UK market in 2017, so that you can buy this bike elsewhere. And we talked earlier about how they're re-releasing it in 2021. You're going to have to buy a second-hand one, which is going to set you back anywhere between £3,000 and £6,000, depending on the age of the model you go for. So that's it, guys. We're going to wrap up the video there. If you liked our quick overview of 600 Supersports, then please do tune in to see the rest of our videos. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, and give us a like and a comment. Let's start a great discussion about these bikes. I absolutely love 600 Supersports, and I'll probably never not have one of these bikes in my garage. Absolute great fun. Okay, so until next time, guys, I'll catch you in the next video.